Chapter 351, 233 Heavenly Materials and Earthly Treasures, 4K request for double monthly tickets. Rumors abounded. Some gold element martial arts grandmasters, especially sword Dao experts who interact closely with divine weapons and swords, would gradually accumulate a substantial amount of golden dust in their bodies. In ancient times, it was called Jeng metal chi. Jeng metal energy was incomparably sharp. If it was concentrated enough and one's cultivation was high enough, they could breathe out sword chi, able to cut through gold and break jade, killing people unseen. This swallow gold was clearly an extremely low-end version of breathing sword. Lu Chenju's muscles trembled, his chest heaved with breath, chi blood surged, and he channeled the weak golden dust within his body to his throat with the power of chi blood. For a moment, it was as if blades were slicing through his throat, causing even himself some raw pain. Huh? Lu Chenju spewed out an invisible chi blade onto an ordinary wooden post, like ejecting jujube core nails. Accompanied by a shrill slicing sound, the wooden post fell in response. Not bad for power. He had thought at best it would be good enough to burst a balloon. However, the bodies of martial artists are much stronger than wooden posts, not to mention those who have cross-trained. The power of this Jeng metal sword chi still needs to be enhanced. Gradually, Lu Chenju came to an understanding. Fire element has scorching heat, wood element has tiger whisker, earth element has earth splitting, wind element has wind step, thunder element has thunderclap. Not counting the water element, he had already collected all the tiger form special effects. The tiger form school did not involve the water element. Lu Chenju looked at the heavenly destiny mystic tiger divine seed. Only 7 more to gather enough for the advancement to 5th rank. Once I finish the other second-class tiger form fist techniques, it should be about right. As for the first-class fist techniques, there are only a few, so I can directly cultivate the tiger roar mountain river fist. True skill cultivation could not be neglected. Otherwise, it would be difficult to enhance the boxing realm. Tiger mountain river boxing, he had long been looking forward to it. How would it compare to his own heavenly destiny mystic tiger fist? In the days to come, Lu Chenju's routine was fixed, seen daily only in the practice room, Chenju's home, and the myriad volume pavilion, nowhere else. Li Gui initially worried Lu Chenju had started true skill cultivation too late and wouldn't be able to keep up in combat, but then the youngster snatched a top 3 place in the trial, fierce as anything. He was completely reassured and stopped nagging Lu Chenju. December arrived quietly. One day, inside Lu Chenju, a robust stream of Tai Sui Sha Qi circulated through a grand circulation. After passing the refined energy of the Kaian Gu acupoint, it suddenly gave birth to a wisp of faint red qi. This qi was unfathomably mysterious, surging through the meridians into Lu Chenju's mud pill palace, manifesting in his sea of consciousness as an ethereal mini-tiger Tai Sui figure. At the same time, among the 49 open acupoints, a mighty torrent of chi blood emerged. Lu Chenju's aura visibly strengthened. Muscles, body, and the mysterious powers of his organs trembled and moaned in utmost comfort. Warm chi turned to white steam and rose. Soon, the practice room was shrouded in clouds and mist. Lu Chenju opened the window to let in some air. He looked towards the martial arts tree. Tiger Demon Tai Sui Technique, second layer 1%. After just over 9 months, I've finally cultivated it. Each advancement of inner strength becomes more challenging. The Dragon Elephant Heaven Lifting Technique, with its 21 layers, increases exponentially in difficulty, and even the likes of Kangshan Dragon King might not have cultivated it. Lu Chenju braced himself mentally. His comprehension was improving anyway, so it wasn't a big problem. As the difficulty increased, so did the benefits. The teacher said that upon reaching the 2nd layer, one's chi blood value would increase by a minimum of 7 points. Some geniuses could enhance even more, with up to 10 points being possible. If converted into martial arts proficiency, it meant that for every 1% increase in proficiency, Lu Chenju's chi blood would increase by 0.07 to 0.1 points, which was considerable. Compared to the chi blood increase from martial techniques, it was indeed far more significant. Lu Chenju headed to the chi blood measurement room. A magnetic male voice resounded. Congratulations, your chi blood value has reached 20 points. In the martial arts cultivation, you've further ascended, just 5 points away from the end realm. Keep up the good work. Did this machine get another update? Now it is the voice of Wan Shixian. In half a year, his chi blood had increased by 10 points. Apart from the enhancement from fist techniques and acupoints, the first layer of inner strength alone had increased it by 6 points, whereas the standard increase was 4 points. Not bad. Lu Chenju visited Li Gui's villa. During this period, Li Gui was also striving for a breakthrough third. Sensing Lu Chenju's surging aura, Li Gui asked, "Have you already cultivated the first layer?" "Yes. Over 9 months. It had taken him 3 years. Alas, it was undeniable. Martial arts geniuses were strong in every aspect." Li Gui asked, "Did you sense the Tai Sui's evil energy?" Lu Chenju replied, "There's a wisp of faint red qi, hidden in the Mud Pill Palace, transformed into a tiger Tai Sui." Li Gui explained, "That's the Tai Sui's evil energy. Once the evil energy reaches your brain, your sixth sense or intuition will significantly improve, which is very useful for predicting moves and sensing danger. I'll teach you how to strengthen this wisp of evil qi, aiming to cultivate the second layer within 2 years." Time passed quickly, and soon the end of the year approached. The turmoil at Tehu had calmed down. With the death of Dao Long, the protector, the Holy Master sect's influence in Sioux City was eradicated, temporarily resolving a major threat. Unfortunately, the other 3 parties were still hidden deep, especially Tang Zheng, who seemed to have vanished from the human world. On New Year's Day, Principal Wang returned to the school. Lu Chenju immediately went to offer his greetings. With a smile, Principal Wang asked, "Isn't today your birthday?" Lu Chenju nodded. Principal Wang continued, "Then I'll call upon Wang Xian and you invite the other sect. Let's gather at my house for a meal. It's a sect tradition to meet once a year. It doesn't delay cultivation." Chapter 352, 233 Heavenly Materials and Earthly Treasures, 4K Request for Double Monthly Tickets, /2. Lu Chenju's face showed joy. Good. The meeting of his martial arts fraternity was a rare moment of relaxation for him. He relished this feeling. That evening, old Jai sat beside Principal Wang, his chopstick-wielding hand trembling. How did I, with neither talent nor virtue, come to sit next to a great grandmaster? King Shin Kang had it easier. He saw Principal Wang often, so he was quite calm. Chenju's parents weren't perturbed either. To ordinary people, breaking free of one's shackles was a feat on its own. Only old Jai was visibly uneasy. Lu Chenju said with a smile, "I'm thankful to the elder masters for their cultivation." Principal Wang gently patted the nervous old Jai beside him and smiled. "Jai Xuantong, you've unearthed such a martial arts genius. You've played an indispensable role." Putting down his cup, Jai Xuantong laughed. "Principal Wang, you flatter me. It was Chenju who sought me out." Lu Chenju added, "Without Master Jai, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today." Lu Guoping also nodded and said, "That's right, our Lu family can never forget the great debt we owe to Master Jai." Jai Xuantong flushed with embarrassment, a bit overwhelmed by the accolades. Everyone chatted awkwardly while eating. Principal Wang inquired about Lu Chenju's current progress in cultivation and nodded. The Tiger Demon Tai Sui technique is quite difficult even amongst middle-level inner strength methods. Reaching the second layer in 9 months is good. Once you reach the third layer, you should be nearing the end realm. Maintain your current pace. It's best to advance to Grandmaster before you're 35, at the height of your golden years. If not, it's fine. Being delayed by a few years won't make a major difference. Besides, with the help of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, your chi blood can recover to its peak. As for you, the greatest challenge in becoming a Grandmaster lies in the acupoints, and you mustn't slack in your efforts. Your current rate of opening the acupoints is basically meeting my expectations, but compared to your senior brother Wang Xian, it's still a tad short. Why am I not worried, though? Because I know you're the type to build up strength over time, and your potential is still growing." As Principal Wang spoke, Wang Xian looked at his junior brother, his mind slightly shocked. Junior brother's potential is still growing. To be honest, he already felt that Chenju was surpassing him. After all, Chenju was cultivating both internally and externally, a path that was inevitably slower. As the conversation unfolded, Principal Wang mentioned heavenly materials and earthly treasures. He said, "The way of the acupoints prioritizes hard work first, talent second, and great medicine third. But some heavenly materials and earthly treasures can also aid in opening the acupoints and have fewer side effects than great medicine. You're still just a martial artist, and not yet in touch with heavenly materials and earthly treasures. When you break through second and third, you can appropriately rely on the external forces of these treasures. In the end, his goal was still for Lu Chenju to become a grandmaster sooner. Lu Chenju asked, "Master, what are some heavenly materials and earthly treasures that can aid the cultivation of the acupoints?" Although he was of low rank, what if he happened to come across one? Principal Wang replied, "After dinner, have Wang Xian give you a heavenly treasure book, which is a compilation of knowledge from the Buddhist and Taoist teachings, as well as from the old schools and the military by the Martial Arts Association. This is top-secret knowledge. You must not divulge it to others, just use it for yourself." Understood. Suddenly, Principal Wang seemed to remember something and asked, "Jai Xuantong, how far are you from your breakthrough second?" Old Jai, who had been calmly eating, was momentarily taken aback. "What's the deal? Why is the entire world asking me when I'll break through second?" Old Jai drank some water to cover his embarrassment and laughed. "It's hard to say, maybe 10 years if it's soon, 30 if it's late." King Shinkang, unable to bear it, said with an exasperated expression, "Isn't that range a bit too broad? Why don't you say 60 years if it's slow?" Principal Wang said, "I have a Changchun fruit here, which is ranked as an earth grade among heavenly materials and earthly treasures. It can extend life by 20 years and also strengthen chi blood. It has some effects of marrow cleansing and revitalizing vitality, which should be able to bring you back to your peak condition in your 30s. Principal Wang took out a box from somewhere. Beneath its clear lid was a fist-sized green fruit that looked quite ordinary, much like a green pear. "This..." Old Jai's face showed a play of emotions, and after coming to his senses, he quickly said, "I dare not accept it, it's too valuable." Principal Wang stated, "The Changchun fruit has little effect on someone of my cultivation level. It merely bolsters an insignificant amount of chi blood, and given my age and condition, there's no need for me to take longevity treasures. This item is most suitable for middle-aged martial artists like you who are stuck at a bottleneck. Its efficacy will diminish after breakthrough second, and won't be of much use after breakthrough third." King Shinkang said, "Jai Xuantong, are you still going to refuse Principal's kindness?" Jai Xuantong, emotionally stirred, immediately clenched his fist in the traditional salute and said, "Thank you, Principal." He knew he had benefited from Lu Chenju's influence. Principal Wang was not pleased with his slow cultivation progress. Naturally, Lu Chenju's face lit up with joy. In this way, it resolved one of his concerns earlier than expected. He suspected that the principal had long seen through his thoughts. Such a great grandmaster was indeed fearsome. Heavenly materials and earthly treasures, even the most common yellow grade, were not publicly available items. Old Jai solemnly stored them away, knowing he couldn't earn such a fruit even if he ran a martial arts academy for 100 years. Without strength and status, one couldn't come into contact with them. Looking at Chenju, he thought to himself, "One man's success can bring his associates to greater heights." That night, after practicing the heavenly pile, Lu Chenju flipped through the Heavenly Treasure book in bed. Heavenly Treasure Taoist Su Ziyan. The original author of this book was actually an ancient Taoist grandmaster whose footsteps traversed the Xia and even the world, including various void realms. He traveled far and wide, gathering information on what he saw and heard, and many heavenly materials and earthly treasures, compiling them into a travelogue. The Martial Arts Association later put together the Heavenly Treasure book based on these writings. Indeed an extraordinary person. Occasionally, heavenly materials and earthly treasures would emerge from the wilderness of ancient Xia, but with the numerous martial artists and advanced technology of today, those items were long gone. Heavenly materials and earthly treasures are natural formations that cannot be cultivated and can only be naturally nurtured over long periods. Fortunately, the appearance of void realms brought new opportunities. Su Ziyan said, "In the netherworld where there is no sun or moon, heavenly materials and earthly treasures can be nurtured. It is truly peculiar and wondrous." As Lu Chenju perused the book, he remarked, "Throughout ancient and modern times, nearly 1,000 varieties of heavenly materials and earthly treasures have been discovered. Dozens of them are beneficial for opening the acupoint, and not one is less than a top-level rare treasure. Heavenly materials and earthly treasures can be divided into 4 grades: Heavenly, earth, chuan, and yellow. Generally speaking, the higher the quality, the more profound the efficacy of the medicinal properties. The yellow grade's medicinal limit is breakthrough second, chuan grade is breakthrough fourth, earth grade is breakthrough sixth, and heavenly grade is an item even those at the absolute peak covet. The appearance of a heavenly treasure will certainly provoke phenomena between heaven and earth, and some top-level heavenly treasures can even assist a martial arts king in advancing to the absolute peak, much like an immortal golden pill. The more he read, the more excited Lu Chenju became. Heavenly materials and earthly treasures, such magnificent items. Suddenly, as he came across the description of a treasure, his eyes narrowed. Heavenly treasure, 9 apertures exquisite grass. This treasure once appeared during the Great Yu dynasty and caused the 8 immortals to exhibit their divine powers, competing over it for 7 days and nights. Rumors say that consuming this grass can cultivate an acquired Taoist body 9 apertures exquisite, greatly accelerating the speed of opening the acupoint, its effect roughly equivalent to a martial bone Dao embryo innate 9 apertures. Lu Chenju was deeply moved. Cultivating an acquired Taoist body. There were not many heavenly treasures listed in the book, only a dozen or so, and each one made Lu Chenju's heart race with the sensation of unlocking the door to a new world. Heavenly treasure, millennium vermilion fruit, a type of heavenly materials and earthly treasures that matures after nurturing for over 10,000 years, can rejuvenate and alter acquired root bone, aiding breakthrough 7. Heavenly treasure, dragon blood coral, can change blood and forge the body, aiding breakthrough 7, also has a strong supportive effect for those practicing dragon form martial arts, once found in the East Sea. Heavenly treasure, Saraka wood, enriches the spirit and strengthens the soul. Undying fire. Before going to sleep, Lu Chenju closed the Heavenly Treasure book. He intended to read it once or twice daily until he memorized the effects and characteristics of all the heavenly materials and earthly treasures. That way, if he encountered any in the void realm, he wouldn't miss out. He took out the Netherworld geomancy map from his pocket. Changbai Mountain. The following day, Lu Chenju visited Li Gui's home. Over the past period, he had perfected a 3rd-class and a 2nd-class martial arts technique, Netherworld Tiger Palm, and had now integrated it into the Heavenly Destiny Mystic Tiger Divine Seed. Chapter 353, 234 Golden Body Perfection, 4K for double monthly tickets. Unfortunately, it didn't have any special effects. Now, the Heavenly Destiny Mystic Tiger Divine Seed is still missing 4. His comprehension is astounding as of late. Considering everything, it's time to learn true skills. Continuing with ordinary martial arts isn't cost-effective. More importantly, the redundancy of ordinary martial arts is increasing, and now that exclusive special effects are nowhere to be found, it's feared that divine seeds will also be difficult to cultivate. Indeed, there's no need to waste time anymore. The current Heavenly Destiny Mystic Tiger Divine Seed, having already 13 terms, is sufficient. Next is to upgrade these terms and enhance their power. Before that, the Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist must be practiced. Once perfected, it'll be just right to gather the materials needed for the Divine Seed to advance to level 5. Li Gui opened the door, looked at Lu Chenju and smiled. Have you almost finished practicing ordinary martial arts? Lu Chenju nodded. Yes. Li Gui sighed. Come in, you're a patient one, spending nearly a year practicing ordinary martial arts. Of all the students I've taught, you're the only one with such dedication. Lu Chenju smiled and said nothing. Practice room. Li Gui stretched his muscles and asked. You have a foundation in Tiger Roar Fist, so it won't take long for you to perfect the Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist, and you'll get the basics in just one try. Today, I'll pass the Tiger Mountain River boxing on to you. After you go back, you can focus on first-class martial arts and supplement it with true skills. There's no need to spend too much time on true skills before Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist is perfected. The main reason is to let you self-verify the connection between these 2 major types of martial arts. Lu Chenju asked. Teacher, a question off the topic. Are the other 17 essential true skills, divided by the 5 elements, much the same as ordinary martial arts? Li Gui pondered and said, Pretty much. You can go to the 2nd layer of Myriad Volume Pavilion to see. They have the fist manuals for all 18 essential true skills. You just need to spend some great merit to view them. If you want to learn the basics, you can ask Principal Wang for guidance. He should have mastered almost all of them. The third layer of the pavilion is for divine skills. There are only a few, and you have to report before you can enter. All right. In the future, when you advance to Grandmaster or even Great Grandmaster, you can look back and learn all 18 essential true skills of the tiger form. As for other true skills, you can take a look if you want, but it doesn't really matter if you don't learn them. They're not much different from the essential true skills anyway. After finishing, Li Gui started to punch. He pushed his palms forward parallel to the ground, imitating the stance of a tiger pouncing, and said, Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist consists of 9 moves, respectively trap tiger clearing throat, slowly roar in the mountains, sound shaking the mountains. Mountains standing tall, rivers flowing, and the 9th move tiger sitting on the peak, mountains chiming in the valley. Even with Lu Chenju's current realm, watching Li Gui's fists was still enjoyable. Li Gui's boxing theory is at the 4th realm, but having immersed himself in it for a long time and deeply involved in teaching, his performance was pleasing to the eye. As Lu Chenju practiced, he grasped the boxing theory within, and in a trance, his spirit followed the movements to the ancient forests. Why is connecting with the heavenly heart mark an important sign of a martial arts genius? One reason is that during punching, connecting with the heavenly heart mark also helps with the understanding of martial arts. From the unseen realms, countless sages in heaven assist you. When Lu Chenju broke through the 4th realm in boxing theory, he was always just a bit short. It was the heavenly heart mark that helped him. Otherwise, reaching the 4th realm wouldn't be that easy. In the midst of the woods, a painting scroll slowly unfurled. A trapped tiger walked out of its cave, clearing its throat with a low growl. The voice grew louder and louder. The forest shook, rivers surged, and ultimately, the entire valley reverberated with the sound of the tiger's roar, resounding endlessly. After practicing the sequence once, Li Gui said, Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist places great emphasis on the aura. If you have a domineering presence, the same martial arts will be more powerful once mastered. If not, then practice like Tiger Supreme Fist. Roar out loud to bolster the aura. Imagine yourself as a mighty tiger reigning over the mountains and rivers, crushing all defiance. Lu Chenju nodded, while looking at the martial arts tree. Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist, beginner 2%. Domineering presence, he had it. It was a special effect nurtured by the Tiger Roar Fist. Lu Chenju asked, Teacher, is Tiger Mountain River boxing the same? Li Gui laughed. Yes, domineering presence is key. With the same perfect level fist technique and the same cultivation, a young Principal Wang could hang me up and beat me. 1. Because his talent is outstanding, and 2. Because he has domineering presence. Anyone with a domineering presence will not achieve lowliness. Not just Tiger Mountain River boxing. Several of the tiger form true skills also highly value the domineering presence, especially the tiger form divine skill, Mountain Lord Inquiry Fist. Hearing this, Lu Chenju secretly rejoiced. The tiger form was tailor-made for him. Li Gui said, That's right. The power of dragon form martial arts is also largely dependent on a domineering presence. Though it's a pity that among the cultivators of the dragon and tiger shapes in the world, they are as common as carps crossing the river. Throughout history, many grandmasters have been born, but those capable of cultivating a domineering presence are still rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. Following that, Lu Chenju, seizing the moment, practiced several times and successfully entered the basics of Tiger Mountain River boxing. Indeed, the difficulty of lower-grade true skills couldn't be compared to first-class ones. However, due to his improved comprehension in boxing realm, it was actually easier than when he initially learned first-class fist techniques. Indeed, stacking the divine seed first was the right move. If I had stubbornly tried to learn it from the start, without 3 to 5 years, I couldn't possibly have perfected Tiger Mountain River boxing. Of course, 3 to 5 years isn't slow, far beyond ordinary martial artists. But Lu Chenju was a man aiming for the absolute peak. After the lesson, Li Gui said, Go back and practice on your own, ask me if you don't understand. With your comprehension and progress by this time next year, you should hope to have mastered Tiger Mountain River boxing. Understand the mountain river suppressing killing move. Once this move is released, whether in sparring or real combat, it has endless uses. Chapter 354, 234 Golden Body Perfection, 4K for double monthly tickets, /2. Lu Chenju bid farewell to his teacher, turning to leave. Li Gui watched his fading figure before suddenly speaking. Chenju. Lu Chenju turned around, asking, "Teacher, what's the matter?" Li Gui, filled with emotion, said, "I've imparted all my knowledge to you. My abilities are limited and I can teach you no more. Congratulations, you have graduated." Lu Chenju replied with a smile. "One day as a teacher, a lifetime as a father." Li Gui, changing the subject, said, "This year, I might go to Magic City Martial Arts University for some time." After pondering for a moment, Lu Chenju asked with a smile, "Is it to meet Senior Mingju Sword Li Yu?" Li Gui's face turned red, and frowning, he said, "How did you know?" Lu Chenju burst out laughing. "Teacher, my friends at Magic City Martial Arts University saw you shopping." Having said that, Lu Chenju left swiftly. Li Gui coughed and muttered to himself, "Yi Chen, that guy can't keep his mouth shut." Indeed. Following the battle at Tehu, the solid-like Li Gui finally met a woman he liked. He had a girlfriend in his early years, but after she died from a virtual disaster, he devoted himself to cultivation. Now, no longer young, it was time to think about continuing his lineage. Most importantly, his beloved student officially graduated today. It felt like seeing his own son get married, leaving no worries behind. Considering Chenju's progress, it wouldn't take him long to surpass his old teacher, and then he could live his own life. Recently, Principal Wang had also spoken to him because he had produced Lu Chenju, the martial arts genius. Li Gui was given a heavenly materials and earthly treasures, and Principal Wang mentioned that he could eventually step back from frontline teaching to focus on his breakthrough third and possibly even attain a professorship. Back at home, Li Gui looked at his phone messages. "Hong Fu, teacher, when will you introduce us to teacher's wife?" Li Gui looked at Villa number 32. "Hey, this kid, they all know already." So be it, the iron-faced tiger had upheld his duty for a lifetime. It was time to let go. Today, old Li started his second life. That night, at Chen Jiu's house, Lu Chenju, wearing only his shorts, stood before Chen Jiu. After Chen had finished his evaluation, he used his fingers like a hammer, tapping from Lu's head all the way down to his legs, occasionally murmuring, "Head like a giant Buddha, golden light shining in all directions, golden head skill successful. Legs like golden pillars, feet like gold bricks successful. Elbows like golden hammers successful." After checking every part of Chenju, Chen Jiu, absorbed in thought, admired the golden body before him, seeing the reflection of his younger self in it. He exclaimed, 2 years golden body perfection, you really did it. For ordinary people, 2 years wouldn't even suffice for beginning." Lu Chenju, dressed again, asked, "Teacher, how long does it usually take to complete the golden body transformation?" Chen Jiu replied, "It took me a month when I did it, I don't know." Chen Jiu had learned to not randomly estimate time anymore. Lu Chenju said, "All right, I'll wait patiently." Chen Jiu advised, "During this time, take some great medicine. Don't use the purple jade ointment anymore. Vajra Group's Minju ointment is good, although it's a bit expensive. You decide." The student understands. Lu Chenju had 300 Vajra points. 200 points went to learn the Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King body. And with the rest, he could buy 5 boxes of Minju potion, which would be enough for the transformation. Chen Ju asked, "By the way, how is the Badhai technique coming along?" Lu Chenju replied, "I have almost mastered the first layer, but it gets trickier beyond that." Chen Ju's face twitched slightly, and he waved his hand. "All right, you should go now." He shouldn't have asked. Before leaving, Lu Chenju asked, "Teacher, could you recommend any true skill-level cross-training martial arts focused on crotch skills?" Chen Jiu pondered for a moment and said, "Martial arts related to the crotch are rare. The regular ones merely entail the iron crotch skill. Only 2 involve true skill cross-training, both incredibly difficult to master, originating from Shaolin's coiling dragon skill and Wuding's pure yang shield. The former is a soft groin skill, requiring the contraction of the yang into the belly, while the latter is a hard qigong, practicing an invisible pure yang qi to protect the crotch." Lu Chenju looked hesitant. Seeing this, Chen Ju added, "I know you've got a foundation in Buddhist martial arts, and I too am a secular disciple of Buddhism. However, I recommend the pure yang shield from Wuding instead of the coiling dragon skill, which is meant for monks who have completely renounced worldly connections. Before perfection of this skill, one must not break the vow of celibacy, and the same goes after perfection. Once broken, all your cross-training skills will collapse, akin to training in vain, posing a higher risk. Lu Chenju, passionate about martial arts, had no thoughts on romantic relationships, but this type of cross-training, which directly fails with the loss of virginity, truly wasn't suitable. Sooner or later, once martial arts were perfected, he would want to leave a descendant to both pass on his skills and simply continue his bloodline. Lu Chenju said, "Thank you, teacher. Do you know how to perform the pure Yang shield?" Chenju replied, "I do not, and throughout the Jiangnan region, probably only one person does." Lu Feng the senior, "I'm not sure about Lu Feng. The person I'm talking about is the unbreakable Taoist. Wang Gang's master. This person specializes in Wudang hard Qigong and is just a step away from becoming a grandmaster. If you want to learn the pure Yang shield, try to find a way with him. You might ask Lu Feng first. If Lu Feng knows it, you might manage to learn through some Vajra points." "I understand." Having experienced the benefits of the iron crotch skill, Lu Chenju still wanted to continue training his crotch, at least to have one cross-training true skill to protect it and reach the impermeable state of the Vajra unbreakable golden body. Back at home, Lu Chenju applied Minjiu ointment externally to his body, where a mysterious golden power surged into his limbs and body, filling every injury and gap fluidly, fostering growth and transformation as his battered body visibly healed. He opened the instruction manual. The medicine is made using ingredients from golden brilliance grass. Lu Chenju appeared enlightened. No wonder it's this powerful. It was now like a dictionary of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Though he hadn't seen the real thing, he had loads of theoretical knowledge. Golden brilliance grass, not only healing external injuries, but also incorporating the power of golden brilliance into the body. That power significantly boosts the emergence of mysterious powers within acupoints linked to cross-training, like a proxy upgrade of training speed, rapidly enhancing the golden film. If only I could get my hands on a golden brilliance grass directly. The next day, when Lu Chenju woke up, he looked at the bedding. Golden light scattered all over. "What's this?" Lu Chenju reached out to pinch a piece of the golden light, which still had skin textures. Golden body perfection, is shedding really happening? He immediately called Chenju. On the phone, Chenju said, "Relax, it's normal. The quicker the shedding, the faster the perfection." Lu Chenju picked up these pieces of shed skin, like gold leaf, and threw them into the fire. Despite the high temperatures, the golden skin remained intact for a while before finally burning. This made Lu Chenju even more expectant of the effects of golden body perfection. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 7 days had passed. Lu Chenju's Tiger Roar Mountain River fist had already become proficient, rapidly advancing towards mastery. At this pace, he might achieve perfection in 3 to 4 months. Looking at it now, practicing third-rate martial arts truly wasn't cost-effective. As for the golden body skill, shedding was still ongoing. However, recently, the amount of skin peeling had decreased. Those dead skins, Lu Chenju had burned them. Chenju mentioned he had kept his own shed skin. Lu Chenju didn't have such a preference. During this time, Lu Chenju hadn't gone out to meet people. The shedding made him look somewhat grotesque, resembling a leopard with patches of black and gold, occasionally oozing blood, which then scabbed. January 11. Lu Chenju's shedding day 10. He stood in front of the mirror, looking rather haggard. He hadn't slept for several days. The itchy sensation in the last few days of shedding was more unbearable than severe pain. Not even the heavenly pile had been this tough. Fortunately, it was all over now. In the mirror, his body looked ordinary bronze. A thought passed, and copious golden liquid flowed from his pores, covering everywhere except the protected areas. The surface of the golden liquid shimmered like a lake, layer upon layer. At a fierce glance, Lu Chenju appeared to be clad in a layer of thick, ancient golden liquid scale armor. 18 Arhat's Golden Body Skill Perfection. Chapter 355. 235 Arhat Body, 3K for double monthly tickets. In the practice room, Lu Chenju used his hand as a blade and fiercely struck his chest. Snap! The golden liquid parted easily like a wave, offering no resistance whatsoever, leaving a red mark on his chest, which made Lu Chenju's expression subtly change. What's going on? Why is there no defense power? Suddenly, he thought of something. Lu Chenju took out an alloy blade and attempted to slice his arm. When the blade came into contact with the golden liquid, it was like chopping tempered glass. The golden liquid trembled slightly, ejecting an invisible rebound force. Bang! The alloy fruit knife broke on impact. So that's how it is. This golden liquid has intelligent sensing. It can recognize the source of the attack. If it's my own attack, naturally it won't defend. Golden body skill, high level. Lu Chenju then grabbed an iron rod and cautiously tapped his head with it. The moment the iron rod collided with his head, it silently twisted and deformed. Ultimately, it formed a concave shape. Next, Lu Chenju tested the main body areas except for the groin. Ordinary C2 alloy weapons, if not using full strength, could not breach the defense offered by the armor crafted from golden liquid. Eventually, it was the blade that failed, not the person. This is the true perfection of the Arhat golden body. Lu Chenju was overjoyed. Such defense, superior even to advanced protective suits, was far superior in terms of shock absorption, handling complex situations, and durability. After all, as long as there was physical stamina, the golden liquid could heal rapidly. Moreover, it could counter the evil skills of the Blue Lotus sect. Lu Chenju continued testing the defense of the golden liquid against his power. He pondered. In terms of short-term defensive strength, power is stronger. But in terms of practicality and endurance, cross-training is stronger. Innate power used in Jai armor defense consumed too much energy. Unless one had the rare, endless sea of chi, talent, or practiced some kind of endurance-oriented martial arts that generates ceaseless power, a typical martial artist could only focus defense on the area being hit. Even if they have full body force, it would not be used unless in critical moments, as once the power depleted, a martial artist's greatest advantage is lost. Cross-training didn't have this issue. It provided complete protection, no weak spots except for the groin, offering long-duration passive defense. In actual combat, which was superior was clear at a glance. With the defensive strength I possess now, with double gathering armor, I should be able to withstand most regular attacks below the end realm, unless it's some extreme killing move. Even without a cold weapon, this body trained in cross-training martial arts could engage a great demon in close combat. Great demons possess strong physical bodies, which is why relics from the void could serve as materials for void blades. Martial artists rely on void blade cold weapons and their battle wisdom to defeat great demons of the same realm relatively easily. But barehanded, it would be difficult. One reason is short reach. The other, the killing power of fists and feet pale in comparison to the void blade. Although a martial artist's body is strong without power, it is still slightly inferior to a great demon's. In close combat, even if victorious, it would be a Pyrrhic victory. On the other hand, Lu Chenju. With a weapon, he slaughtered recklessly. Disarmed, he still slaughtered recklessly. He looked towards the martial arts tree. 18 Arhat's golden body skill, perfection. Divine Seed Arhat body, 3rd rank, hidden within the Shenyang acupoint. Eliminate distress, venerable Ananda. Effect 1. Buddha Wisdom Level 3 improves some Buddhist martial arts comprehension. Effect 2. Cross-training Level 3 enhances some cross-training martial arts talents. Effect 3. Rebound, physical attacks against the body will rebound some of the force. Non-physical attacks cannot be rebounded. The first two effects need no explanation. The third left Lu Chenju overwhelmingly elated. Another super practical effect. Rebound attack. Powerful, no need to say more. Even if just some, for anyone in close combat with him, it would be extremely painful. Kill Lu 1,000, self-damage 100, and it could continue improving. Lu Chenju muttered to himself. If rebound is trained to the extreme, it would be the legendary Vajra unbreakable. I wouldn't even need to lift a finger, relying on the Arhat body to kill enemies like the immovable Ming King. If you strike me, you die. Because my body is strong, I can withstand your attack, but can you withstand your own force? This is how you use cross-training. After the excitement passed, Lu Chenju called his teacher, Chenju. Recently, the teacher had also been keenly following Lu Chenju's transformation. Hearing that Lu Chenju had succeeded, Chenju said excitedly on the phone. Great, old rules cultivate for a while, then practice true skill cross-training. Even my golden bell Jade drum Ming King body is half-baked, so I won't teach you. Go learn from Lu Feng, got 200 Vajra points. If not, I'll lend you some. I have them, thank you, teacher. Good, later apply Minjiu potion externally. Once you're proficient, we can spar with each other, learn this true skill cross-training together, and improve together. The cross-training expert I hired isn't good enough. Sparring efficiency is too low. Sure thing. After hanging up the phone, Lu Chenju was in high spirits. Unknowingly, his accomplishments in cross-training almost caught up with Chenju. But he did not know how to integrate and comprehend cross-training martial arts. His current level seemed far from sufficient. Only after becoming a martial arts master did Lu Feng carve out his own path in cross-training. Next, Lu Chenju temporarily did not start learning new cross-training skills, but focused on opening acupoints, inner strength, and mastering two forms of tiger form fist boxing. In addition to his cultivation, he would also visit the second floor of the Myriad Volume Pavilion, exploring the subtleties of fist theories and scouting future martial arts techniques. Not only tiger form, but he was also sparing time to practice swallow form, as the trials in the Void Realm had exposed his weakness with long-distance swift movement techniques. He wasn't looking for significant strength in a short time. Integrating and comprehending a first-class routine would suffice. Over the past period, everyone had made obvious progress. Old Tian, Leopard Woman, and Yao Cheng had successively stepped into the realm of martial artists. Chen Xiaoan had also begun her retreat, and Class 1 of the geniuses welcomed two new top-class root-bone talents, which allowed Xiao He to breathe a sigh of relief, grateful that he was no longer at the bottom. During a dinner organized by Old Tian for the 10 students from the genius class, the two new classmates referred to Lu Chenju as a senior, which gave him a surreal feeling. I am seen as a senior by others now. And he was only 20 years old. Jai Feiyan was also making a sprint. But the extreme limit realm was challenging, and the senior sister still needed to strive. With intermediate root bone, her innate conditions were somewhat inferior, but from the current trend, Jai's future achievements exceeding her master's seemed promising. Shi Ruyu, composed and unhurried, proceeded towards the 10th rank in her own pace. As a prodigy of sudden enlightenment, although she couldn't compare to the phenomenal Lu Chenju, she was doing well. As for their master, he lived a withdrawn life, declining all social interactions, avoiding bragging with friends, abstaining from casual drinks, fearing the waste of any bit of Chanchun fruit's medicinal effects, eager to utilize this peak status period to efficiently open acupoints and sprint toward the mastery realm. Old Jai was determined. If he couldn't achieve the breakthrough second with the aid of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, he would die with regrets, having failed Principal Wang and Lu Chenju, let alone his nation and its people. Even if he couldn't break through before his disciples reached the third shackle, he wanted to make it before his disciple became a grandmaster. Otherwise, he would disgrace his ancestors. He wouldn't have the face to create a separate page in the family records. Time flew a month later. In the practice room, Lu Chenju ended his cultivation, and his consciousness entered the inner scenery land, where a giant circular foundation had been constructed from blocks of meat divine stones, spanning over 100 yards in diameter. A 9-story platform starts from accumulating soil, and the foundation of meat divine palace is set. Looking up at the sky, 57 heavenly star acupoints twinkled. Just short of 3 acupoints. As his divine seed continued to merge with the heavenly destiny mystic tiger, the current rate of opening 3 acupoints per month was even faster since he had dedicated all the time saved from cross-training to opening acupoints. It seemed next month would reach 60. Tiger Tai Sui was still honing its giant blade. In an instant, Lu Chenju arrived at the martial arts mountain peak area and stepped towards the viewing platform, only 1 step away. The heavenly stars vibrated hummingly, invisible pressure squeezing from all directions. Lu Chenju's figure flickered uncertainly. Holding on longer than before, he still shattered. No use. In terms of chi blood, I've reached 22 points, 7 points above the middle realm, and my martial arts will is strong enough, but unless the acupoints are achieved, I cannot stand here. Lu Chenju shook his head, leaving the inner scenery land. That night, Lu Chenju recited the Bodhi technique, sensing changes in chi mechanism. The Bodhi seed in his mind became more tangible, emitting an indescribable Buddha's light. In the dimly lit practice room, a faint blue light spread, and an ethereal Bodhi seed floated out. Lu Chenju's forehead was covered with sweat, his spiritual power rapidly depleting. Fortunately, with the spirit bracelet in his hands, waves of gentle power flowed into his mind, nourishing his spirit. With this miraculous power's assistance, the Bodhi seed began to sprout, visibly growing into a small blue tree behind Lu Chenju, materializing in illusion. Bodhi is not a tree, the bright mirror is not a platform. Muttering, the blue tree behind him began to dissolve into billions of blue lights. Faintly, it transformed into a blurred blue silhouette. It had no face, yet it radiated an aura of compassion. This was the small Bodhi form, formed from pure spiritual power, possessing Lu Chenju's chi mechanism. So it is, just need to extract my chi mechanism and hide it within the small Bodhi form. Then how could the enemy's chi mechanism taint me? In the eyes of his enemies, his chi mechanism simply did not exist. This was the essence of Bodhi has no tree. With a thought, the small Bodhi form turned back into a Bodhi seed, like the pre-universe singularity, deeply hidden at the deepest part of the spiritual ocean. Here, unless one's realm greatly surpassed Lu Chenju's, it would be difficult to detect. The chi mechanism was safely concealed here. Facing a martial arts master is enough, but not a martial arts grandmaster. However, with my strength, if I really encounter an enemy who has broken through the third shackles, any struggle would be futile. Lu Chenju thought of the shadow-level great void from the void realm, the memory still fresh. He put away the black spirit bracelet in his palm, murmuring. Unexpectedly, this item also aids in cultivating the Bodhi technique, or rather, spiritual artifacts have some benefits for cultivating spirit-based methods. If I could acquire a higher-level spiritual artifact, I might try learning the heart intent cultivation method to test the difficulty. The path of spiritual cultivation is crucial. If his spirit and will were strong enough, facing the spiritual attack of a shadow-level great demon would not be so awkward. P.S. Double rewards still have 4 days left, still a few thousand votes short, seeking double monthly tickets. Chapter 356, 236 Cross-Training True Skill, Thank You Worry-Free Wine Alliance Hierarch. The thought arose, and the small Bodhi body manifested. In an instant, the small Bodhi body returned to its place. Lu Chenju tried several times, murmuring. It seems somewhat similar to Chipo. He looked towards the martial arts tree. Bodhi technique, second layer 1%. The difficulty of the second layer of the Bodhi technique suddenly increased. Given my realm, the small Bodhi body is enough for now. I'll casually continue this secret technique, and since I have a solid foundation in Buddhist martial arts, even casual training should be quite fast. The golden body skill reached perfection, enhancing his Buddha wisdom significantly. Lu Chenju planned a switch to training every 2 days. He'd use the extra time to practice his punches more. He picked up his phone and found Lu Feng's contact. Lu Chenju, Senior, I want to learn the Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King body. After sending the message, he went asleep. He knew Lu Feng disliked working overtime. Soon after, his phone rang. Lu Chenju opened it, and his face lit up with joy. Lu Feng, sure, come to the police station tomorrow. In Jinling, at the bottom of the Yangtze River. On a certain coffin, Chen Yanjing opened his eyes and exhaled a breath of decay. His groggy gaze landed on the beautiful face above him. Protector Gu. Gu Kainqian, with her lips curved, coldly smiled. Leader Chen, have you slept well these past 2 years? Chen Yanjing remained silent. Gu Kainqian looked at Chen Yanjing's severed arm and asked, What's your current strength? Chen Yanjing replied, Almost at the 4th level of the Forget Sorrow Heart scripture. However, my divine body is flawed and I can't perform several 3rd-grade divine arts, all thanks to that damned Lu Feng. Hearing the name Lu Feng, Gu Kainqian shuddered. She vividly remembered the night she encountered that person. It was as if seeing a demon emerge from hell. His cultivation technique was even more terrifying than those of the demon path. She and Protector Dao Long had fought Lu Feng, thinking they could either defeat him or escape gracefully, but after Lu Feng became a grandmaster, his prowess far surpassed the initial realm. Dao Long met a tragic death. She barely escaped and did not dare return to Sioux City. Tang Zheng seemed to be hiding in the void realm as well, afraid to show himself. Gu Kainqian formed a hand seal and chanted a sacred name, divine light swirling in her palm, manifesting into a white bone lotus flower, blooming layer by layer in a bizarre and enchanting way. 4th-grade divine skill, white bone lotus. Massive divine power flowed into Chen Yanjing's body, bringing a look of joy to his face as his severed arm visibly regrew bone, followed by sprouting flesh. Before long, a miniature plump baby's arm emerged. A divine skill that regrew flesh and bone. This was truly a miracle. Could any martial arts accomplish this? Chen Yanjing, at least, had never heard of such martial arts. How could mortal wisdom contend with the divine? Gu Kaienqian said, "As a protector who has just arrived, you have a profound foundation in Sioux City. From now on, you will work by my side and gather all the manpower you still have." Chen Yanjing, feeling the divine power gradually restoring, bowed his head and said, "Rest assured, protector." With the forbidden zone active, powerful beings began to emerge. This first wave of dark chaos was just an appetizer. The era belonging to martial artists was over. February 2. Pingjiang Police Station. Vajra Group Office. As soon as Lu Chenju entered, he spotted a familiar figure. "Brother Wang, are you here on business too?" Wang Gang's eyes brightened as he replied. "Lu Kaiyan, Brother Lu, I'm here on a mission." Lu Chenju inquired. "By your aura, you've reached 9th rank." Wang Gang, feeling wistful, said, "Yes, I thought I was not too slow, but alas." He looked at Lu Chenju, whose presence did not fall short of his father's. "Pure genius. A few years ago, we addressed each other as brothers. Now I have to address you as senior." Taking the opportunity, Lu Chenju asked, "Brother Wang, I heard that your master practiced the pure yang shield." Wang Gang replied, "What about it do you want to learn?" Lu Chenju smiled. "Being exclusive martial arts of Wudang, I wonder what the conditions are." True skill-level martial arts were the closely guarded secrets of every school. Wang Gang said, "I'm not sure, but I'll ask for you when I go back." "Thank you, Brother Wang." "Don't mention it." After some small talk, Wang Gang strode off to his mission, spirited. If not compared to Lu Chenju, he was quite formidable. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been taken as a disciple by the unbreakable Taoist. The police chief's dedicated practice room. This was where Lu Feng usually practiced. As a grandmaster among the young talents, though he held the position of police chief, his primary role was to intimidate the petty and address powerful foes. Other tasks were left to his subordinates. Most of the time, he was in here cultivating. At this moment, Lu Feng resembled a dormant tiger, his posture grand and majestic like Kunlun Mountain, his immense aura deeply contained. Lu Chenju stood opposite Lu Feng, like a small tiger before a big one. A grandmaster who cultivated both internally and externally, truly formidable. Lu Feng said, "Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King Body. This is one of the most important divine arts of Buddhist cross-training I handle. Though I don't master many, this one is essential. You managed to perfect the golden body skill in 2 years. Thus I believe you can master this true skill within 5 years. After mastering, you'll stand unshakable like a golden bell, move like the heavenly gates of a jade drum, and in combat, protected by the golden jade Ming King body, you'll be invulnerable to blades and impervious to fire and water. Regardless of how cunning the enemy, I'll serenely break them one by one, never losing my own attacking rhythm. Such is the nature of the immovable Ming King." Lu Feng was a man of few words. He began without any prelude, while Lu Chenju listened attentively. After the introduction, Lu Feng said, "Take off your clothes." Immediately, Lu Chenju stripped down to his underwear. Lu Feng merely glanced and understood the foundation of Lu Chenju's cross-training. Chapter 357, 236 Cross-Training True Skill. Thank Zia Wanju, Alliance Hierarch /2. You've also practiced the Iron Crotch skill. Yes. Have you found a teacher for the true skill level crotch cross-training? Lu Chenju said. Mr. Chen told me to ask the unbreakable Taoist. Lu Feng pondered. I have practiced the crotch protection, but it's a self-created ghost tiger domineering body. This true skill inherently includes protection training. With your current foundation and level of cross-training, starting with high-level cross-training will only impede your internal cultivation. Let me talk to Gu Shantong for you. He owes me a favor. Lu Chenju was pleased. With Lu Feng taking action, it should be stable. Lu Chenju said, I will pay whatever price is necessary. Lu Feng smiled slightly. Neither I nor the unbreakable Taoist could accept any price you'd be able to pay with your current level of cultivation. Rest assured, go learn. We can discuss this later. Honestly, among the many members of the Vajra group, I see the most potential in you. Your talent for cross-training is even better than mine was at your age. Your potential is limitless. I was able to become a grandmaster of both internal and external disciplines before my 50th year with some external help. Lu Chenju had seen the Heavenly Treasure book. It indeed recorded some heavenly materials and earthly treasures suitable for cross-training, such as something called the dragon whisker fruit, a yellow-grade treasure. Upon consumption by martial artists, it allows for 1. Dragon power body tempering, which can improve physique and increase cross-training talent. This treasure is available in the military's war merit store. However, it costs 5,000 battle merits. Because of his divine seed, Lu Chenju has less need for it. The priority is to accumulate 10,000 battle merits as soon as possible to exchange for a cold silkworm robe. Next, Lu Feng began to demonstrate. He let out a soft shout, spreading his feet shoulder-width apart, slightly bending his knees, and lifting his hands to chest level, palms facing inward, as if holding a large bell. The Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King body can be divided into 5 major levels depending on the martial arts realm. The proficient level is called Golden Bell Standing. This stage trains your stability during combat. What is stability? It's the steadiness of your stance. Some people are sent flying with a single punch, which naturally diffuses the force but also wastes a precious opportunity to strike. Our advantage in having both internal and external disciplines wouldn't be evident, you see. Lu Chenju nodded like a pecking chicken. Believing in Lu Chenju's comprehension, Lu Feng continued. After mastery comes the second layer, Jade Drum Vibrating Force, which trains vibrating force. Imagine your body as a huge drum. Through muscular vibrations, continually stacking force and ultimately releasing it through your fist move, you can erupt with one strike. Advanced hard Qigong isn't just about defense. It often enhances Qi blood strength, explosive power. It benefits the whole body. Vajra unmoving at small success, Golden Bell protection at great success, and Golden Jade Ming King body at perfection. Let's put it this way, if you had the Golden Jade Ming King body now, aside from those who break second shackles, the regular attacks of martial artists wouldn't just fail to breach your defense, they wouldn't even be able to shake you. Your task would be to explode your enemy with one punch. This is the immovable Ming King. Extremely powerful, but alas, difficult to train. Lu Feng knew Lu Chenju's talent. He estimated it would take Lu Chenju 5 years to reach perfection. In comparison to the golden body skill, the training steps for the Ming King body weren't as complicated. In just 1 hour, Lu Chenju had followed Lu Feng through the routine. On the martial arts tree, a notification appeared. Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King body, beginner 1%. Lu Chenju was moved. I've reached the beginner level already, seems quite all right. Lu Feng had Lu Chenju demonstrate on his own, and his gaze shifted slightly. Looks like it might not take 5 years. He didn't know that Lu Chenju's talent for cross-training could dynamically improve with the divine seed. 2 years to perfect the golden body skill was the speed before the new divine seed appeared. Lu Chenju said with a smile, "Thank you, senior, for imparting the technique." Lu Feng, withdrawing his astonished spirit, said, "You can go now. I won't manage your sparring any longer. Just figure it out yourself, especially since Chenju is also practicing this. You can practice together. Once you've perfected this cultivation technique, there's no need to practice middle-level cross-training. Just train my ghost tiger domineering body. Once you've practiced the mainstream true skill cross-training sufficiently, I believe, with your talent and spirit, you will indeed integrate them and find your own path." Lu Chenju replied, "This junior understands." Night had fallen. Departing from the police station, Lu Chenju moved like the wind towards the school. His movements were strange, at times resembling a swallow soaring skyward, leaping onto rooftops, and at times performing the hovering flight of a sea swallow, while occasionally throwing punches. Continuous prompts appeared from the martial arts tree. Swallow flying skill, mastery 1%, right arrow mastery 2%. Swallow dance fist, proficient 56%, right arrow proficient 57%. Read swallow steps, proficient 34%, right arrow. The dense prompts flooded in, but Lu Chenju couldn't be bothered to look. He was in a hurry, so he chose to practice the swallow form fist technique while on the move. As they were all third-rate martial arts, casual practice still propelled his pace. Over the past few months, he had mastered 3 swallow-form fist techniques during various spare moments. Not long after, Lu Chenju passed through a cramped urban area. The Mud Pill Palace's Tiger Tai Sui suddenly opened its eyes, emitting an indescribably fierce aura that shot directly to his crown, causing a shudder to run through his heart. Using the tiger whisker sensation, he detected an evil intent close behind him about 10 feet away. Lu Chenju shifted to one side hastily, yet he was still grazed by something resembling a sharp claw on his back. The high-level protective suit he wore was torn instantaneously, revealing the golden liquid that flowed beneath. Golden light rippled, resisting for a moment before shattering. Instantly, the rebound power of the golden body burst forth, partially deflecting the force of that sharp claw. A cold touch spread across his back. The innate strength solidified, forming a third line of defense. It barely withstood the fierce onslaught. The remaining shockwave caused Lu Chenju to roll on the ground. He used the momentum to leap up, pulling out the tiger gall long spear from behind and stabbing backhandedly toward the dark shadow. Prick! The divine spear collided with something metallic, a pair of blood-red razor-sharp claws, belonging to an unremarkable-looking stray dog with blood-red eyes. For a moment, a spiritual shock surged into Lu Chenju's mind, manifesting a blood moon within his inner realm, and an imaginary winged, heavenly dog with bared fangs appeared. Mortals, submit to me. Intention struck directly at his spirit. What met it was an unmatched brilliant blade light. Tiger Tai Sui drew his blade and slashed at the heavens. Roar! The mystic tiger soared with the blade light, shredding the infiltrator to pieces. In the blink of an eye, Lu Chenju made a decisive move, leaping up, poised midair a second time. His long spear thrust forward, power tinting it golden, man and spear unified, transformed into an indescribably brilliant golden light, surrounded by a whistling wind and thunder tearing through the air. Swoosh! In the span of a breath, he was already 30 feet away. Lu Chenju, bathed in fresh blood, landed gently. White tiger breaking army wind and thunder formation. He turned around, his expression grave as he thrust forward with his spear. Die! He didn't even know what it was, but killing it was the goal. The long spear swung relentlessly, impenetrable, the force exploding on the ground, golden light blooming everywhere. Ultimately, the ground was littered with shattered flesh, blood streaming out, transforming into the illusory figure of a blood-colored heavenly dog. It looked incredulous and panic-stricken, and finally, under an invisible suction force, it was absorbed into the blood-colored long spear before him. No, no, I am. The shrill voice cut off. Lu Chenju stowed his long spear and hurried towards the school. Back at the school infirmary, he got his wounds checked and bandaged. After ensuring everything was fine, he returned home and said solemnly, "That demon seemed quite formidable. It barely had any presence, almost similar to a normal stray dog, yet it managed to shatter his advanced protective suit, golden body, and triple defenses of innate strength." Lu Chenju instinctively thought it was a shadow-level great demon. He made a swift decision, unleashing his strongest attack, wind and thunder formation, unexpectedly finding the stray dog's defenses to be ordinary, easily pierced by his thrust and shattered by the force. This battle, though sudden and quickly resolved, was more nerve-wracking than any he had faced before. It was fortunate his golden body had reached perfection, otherwise, he might have been severely injured. Chapter 358, 237 Climb Higher, 4K for double monthly tickets. Lu Chenju removed the long spear from his back, and after the divine weapon had absorbed the blood of the stray dog, it seemed to come back to life, with blood-colored patterns faintly appearing and disappearing. Lu Chenju's eyes narrowed as the patterns continuously changed, slowly forming a picture. It was precisely the blood-colored heavenly dog he had seen in his mind. This kind of demon, it does resemble the heavenly dog of myth and legend. Having witnessed the wonders of the Void Realm, Lu Chenju knew that so-called myths and legends were in large part the artistic interpretations of ancient people's encounters with existences in the Void Realm, and were not entirely unfounded. If one day he encountered a creature like the divine dragon in the Void Realm, he would not be surprised. The beings from the Void Realm that ancient people considered mythical surely possessed extraordinary strength, starting from the level of a demon king. With Lu Chenju's cultivation, an encounter would mean certain death. He was apprehensive and sought out his master that very night. The matter had to be clarified, or else he would not be able to rest easy, fearing that the demon might not be dead. its residue lingering within the divine weapon, possibly attempting body seizing or turning against him one day. Principal Wang was practicing heavenly pile at home. He looked at Lu Chenju, who was covered in a murderous aura, and asked, "What's the matter?" Lu Chenju presented the tiger gall long spear and said, "Teacher, what is this?" Principal Wang's expression remained unchanged. He took the tiger gall long spear and examined the pattern on it. "Did you encounter a blood heavenly dog?" Lu Chenju told his teacher about what happened that night. Upon hearing this, Principal Wang asked, "A dog broke your golden body?" "Yes." "It seems that the dog must have been a clone of the blood heavenly dog." "The blood heavenly dog, is it very powerful?" "Not long ago, Cold Mountain Elder slew a great void king in Sioux City." "I know of this. It was the blood heavenly dog. This demon has not made its first appearance in the human world. 1,000 years ago, it emerged, devouring several grandmasters and convening a horde of demon kings and ghostly followers, attempting to wreak havoc in Jiangnan, but was driven away by the great monk of Gold Mountain Monastery." "Master Wende." "Yes." Lu Chenju was shocked. That stray dog was so formidable. Principal Wang said, "I suspect that the blood heavenly dog did not perish that day, or had prepared a backup plan before making its move, attempting to return one day. But I didn't expect it to slip up on a seemingly ordinary martial artist like you." Now the identity of the demon was clear. Lu Chenju asked, "Master, could you check if this divine spear has any hidden dangers?" Behind Principal Wang, the cheese of the white dragon, mystic tiger and vermilion bird became visible, and with a flickering light in the palm of his hand, he held the long spear, forcefully intruding upon it with an overpowering presence. Before long, a mini blood-colored spiritual body was pulled out. It bore a close resemblance to the pattern. The blood heavenly dog. This spiritual body was now fading and dissipating, not far from death. Upon seeing Principal Wang, it cried out in fear. Wang Changming. Known as a great demon king, the blood heavenly dog naturally had information on the strong figures in the area before descending upon Sioux City. It knew that the man before it was the top fighter of Sioux City. "Done for now." Principal Wang sneered. "Blood heavenly dog, it is indeed you." It was difficult to completely annihilate such a grand demon king. Beings like these prefer to have multiple safe houses. Some demons even possess the innate ability to create clones. As the blood heavenly dog was close to death, it was unexpectedly calm, and instead laughed. "Indeed, I am the king. Do you really think you can annihilate me with the methods of mere martial artists? My methods far exceed the imagination of you mortals." Principal Wang said, "It seems your clones in the human world are not limited to one." The blood heavenly dog sneered back. "Naturally otherwise, why would I have dared to make a move? Kill me, and one day my mother will descend into this world and purify all of you blasphemers." It indeed still had several clones. However, their strength was not significant. The demon had intended to secretly accumulate strength through these clones until the right moment, when the clones would unite and once again forge a body for the blood heavenly dog. Although it couldn't recover its full strength, returning to the realm of a demon king would still be feasible. Principal Wang's intangible presence erupted, erasing the spirit of the blood heavenly dog. "Wait and see, I will return. When the heavenly dog reappears in the human world, blood will surely flow into rivers." The demon boasted defiantly before death. Lu Chenju said gravely, "I wonder where this clone might be hiding." It was his unlucky fate to be targeted by a clone of the Demon King. Principal Wang, however, laughed and said, "Don't worry, as long as you are brave and continue to make progress. If any other clones dare to appear, just blow them away." Principal Wang, at that moment, had an aura as brilliant as the blazing sun. Lu Chenju, too, was inspired and his spirits soared. He put away the tiger gall long spear, noticing the blood-colored pattern was still there. Lu Chenju asked, "Teacher, the divine spear doesn't have any problems now, right?" Principal Wang said, "The blood-colored pattern taking shape is the divine essence of the tiger gall itself. If the divine spear absorbs the blood of a demon king, this will happen. You should feel lucky that this was only a clone of the demon king, at the level of an ordinary great demon. Otherwise, the tiger gall spear would have been burst by the demon blood, and you've actually benefited from this misfortune. There's a chance for the spear to evolve into an intermediate divine weapon." Lu Chenju was overjoyed to hear this. A lower-grade divine weapon already possessed such power. If it were to advance to intermediate, he would be unbeatable below the breaking of the second barrier. After returning to the villa, Lu Chenju examined the Tiger Gall divine spear, and under the connection of his heart intent, he felt something was gestating within the spear, though he couldn't see what was happening inside. All he could do was patiently wait. Somewhere in the Silver Eagle Federation, Ekman Town, a stooped, burly figure danced in the moonlit night, wearing a tailcoat and killing gracefully with a sweep of its claw, as one fighter after another fell in terror. Chapter 359, 237 Ascend Higher Floors, 4K Requests for Double Monthly Tickets, /2. Blood Duke. This land had recently been awash with the legend of a terrifying werewolf, whose strength was formidable. Ordinary fighters were no match for it in combat. The federal government had offered a hefty bounty, constantly attracting bounty hunters to pursue it, all to no avail. The Blood Duke was a master of transformation. On ordinary days, it concealed its aura, blending into the crowd. Or it would transform into a harmless little puppy. Moments later, hunched in form, it gazed at the moon, licking the blood at the corner of its mouth, holding the head of a fighter in its hand and drinking it like watermelon juice. Its appearance was indistinguishable from that of a werewolf. The Blood Duke looked toward the east with cold eyes. Damn it, this king has lost another clone. I could have regained the strength of a demon king within 10 years. How could that young martial artist be so powerful? And that divine weapon, I sensed a trace of Heavenly Tiger within it. Heavenly Tiger, a powerful mutant beast in the Void Realm. Even in its youth, it possessed the strength equivalent to breaking the third shackles. As adults, they generally possessed the strength of demon kings and great demon kings. Some individuals even rivaled the demon emperor. Common people like to refer to the Heavenly Tiger as Qianqi. Heavenly Tiger, utterly rigid and yang, favors drinking demon blood and is the bane of the mutant beasts of the Void Realm. Therefore, early on, the demon kings and great demon kings from various forbidden zones united to launch a massive hunt, aiming to eradicate all the Heavenly Tigers they could find. In the end, the Heavenly Tigers became extinct. The Blood Heavenly Dog suspected that the spear was forged from Heavenly Tiger bone. This Heavenly Tiger spear must be destroyed soon, and that young martial artist, if not eliminated early, will surely become a great scourge to my demon race in the future. March the awakening of insects, the revival of all things. In the private ring of the gymnasium, where leaps Kanghai flows horizontally. The tiger perches on the peak, the mountains echo the valley. Two fists collided, the power exploding with a sound. What seemed a plain and unadorned confrontation actually represented a clash of mountainous and oceanic forces. The spirits of the mystic tiger and the giant whale wrestled across the heavens and earth, clashing countless times in an instant fraught with danger. After the strongest strike, Lu Chenju landed steadily, immovable as a mountain. Boom! Wang Hongdao descended from the sky like a falling whale, his momentum dwindling. He stared at the shattered whale skin on his chest, the startling fist imprint. In contrast, Lu Chenju's power was cohesive and did not scatter, his body shimmering with golden liquid, truly unscathed. Wang Hongdao, holding his chest, said helplessly, "Your defense is too freakish, isn't it?" Lu Chenju gave a slight smile. "I'll be going first, let's spar again when there's a chance." "All right, once my true skill is perfected, we'll fight again." Wang Hongdao was persistent, never discouraged by defeat. On the way back, Lu Chenju looked at the martial arts tree. Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist, small success 100%, right arrow great success 1%. Tiger Suppressing Mountain River Fist, proficiency 13%, right arrow proficiency 14%. Wang brother is indeed a good sparring partner. As the comprehension in boxing realm increased, even though it was a first-class fist technique, the cultivation progressed rapidly. From the time he began Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist, it had only been 2 months. As for Tiger Suppressing Mountain River Fist, he practiced it alongside, and the progress was not slow. Lower-grade true skill was no longer difficult for him. That night, at Chen Jiu's house, 2 figures were engaged in close combat, striking the head, the abdomen, the legs. At first glance, they seemed to be fighting erratically, but each slap was systematic, each hitting a fixed spot. The sound of their bodies colliding relentlessly filled the air. From a distance, it looked like two golden stick figures fighting. Mrs. Chenju watched the master and disciple, a smile on her lips. This method of training is quite interesting. After punching for an hour, Lu Chenju said, "Teacher, I should be heading back." Chenju nodded. "Your Ming-King body has shown obvious progress, should be proficient soon. But your striking spots are still slightly off. Continue to study when you go back." "Okay, I won't make the same mistakes next time." After bidding goodnight, Lu Chenju left Chenju's house. Chenju stood contemplatively in place. Madam asked, "What are you thinking about? Go take a bath and get some sleep." Chenju sighed softly and said, "According to Chenju's progress, he will surpass me in cross-training proficiency this year. Although I know he is a martial arts genius, it still seems incredible. In the face of absolute talent, his years of hard work seemed almost insignificant." Moments later, Chenju's spirit surged, reaffirming his martial arts confidence. He embraced his wife and said softly, "I'm thinking in a while, I want to go experience the void realm." The expression in his wife's eyes changed slightly as she asked, "What's wrong? You are just a teacher. Why would you need such experience?" Chenju sighed and said, "I, Chenju, also want to make further progress. I have been somewhat neglectful over these years, relying only on my unyielding spirit." His wife was silent for a moment before saying, "Then go, but don't forget there are people waiting for you in the human world. I don't want to be a widow standing by the shores of Tehu." Chenju gazed at the night sky, his heart filled with mixed emotions. He ventured into the void realm, not just for a chance to find a grandmaster opportunity for himself. He wanted to have his wife by his side for more of their remaining years. The night had deepened. After his bath, Lu Chenju applied the ointment. Feeling its vibrant medical properties healing his scarred body and skin, he couldn't help but express his comfort. "According to the current progress, next month I should be proficient in the Ming-King body. The effect of this Minjiu potion is truly good. Pity it's only available at Vajra points." Thinking about several matters, Lu Chenju began practicing his pile skill. As his cultivation advanced, he had appropriately reduced his sleep without harming his body. At 1 o'clock in the morning, the martial arts tree sent a notification. "Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, the 60th acupoint opened." Finally opened. Lu Chenju's palms hummed incessantly, uncontrollably trembling from the middle strike acupoint to the Zhangqi acupoint, totaling 60 acupoints resonating in unison. A vast surge of mysterious power emerged, soaking every cell in his body. His muscles invisibly underwent sublimation and transformation, becoming more compact, elastic and tough, with chi blood visibly improving. The innate strength in his chi became more solid and purer, each strand containing explosive power, both in quantity and quality, rapidly advancing. In just a thought, rich golden luminescence emerged from every pore above his waist, spreading from his head to his waist, every part, even his eyes, dispersed with golden light. Half-body's power is also transformed. Lu Chenju leaped in front of the alloy wood pile, his palms striking out as golden power poured and explosively burst forth. Retracting his palm, the alloy wood pile showed a deep palm imprint. "This is C3 alloy." C3 alloy, although it is a remnant of the old era. Its crafted blades can easily slice through iron. Now his power could penetrate the alloy wood pile. Such a force, if struck on a person, one could imagine the consequences. In a thought, Lu Chenju arrived at the inner scenery land. The ground thundered and trembled, blocks of stone slab automatically took form, piling up in front of him, creating an embryonic form of a divine palace with 4 walls, standing solid on its foundation. After 60 acupoints, the Meat Divine Palace has also taken significant shape. My body's strength now, even without cross-training martial arts, resembled reinforced steel. The more complete the Meat Divine Palace became, the stronger the muscles. Once it was fully completed, it would be the day the finishing touches were done. Then one could move towards breaking the second shackles. Above the sky, 60 heavenly stars twinkled. Lu Chenju once again stood before the viewing platform, stepping forward. The invisible restraining force turned into a breeze that strode past him, which had no effect on him at all. He stood here, looking at the surrounding scenery. Carved words faintly appeared on the mountain walls. He knew these were bold words of martial arts, inscribed by bigwigs with their martial arts will at the peaks of inner scenery land during their youth. "The Tao is endless, Zhang Daoling." Reach a new level again and again, one Shixian. Kangshan Dragon King was here, Liang. With a sword from Ame I am the peak, Zhou Zijian. Heaven and earth in all its forms I alone am honored, Li Xiang. Tiger Form Worlds Number 1, Wang Changming. Chapter 360, 238 Swallow Form Fusion, 2.5K requesting double monthly tickets. The script was imbued with a defiant spirit. Most were left by the Dezia Absolute Peak Strong or the ancient heavenly person predecessors. A few were left by other stunningly talented individuals. For example, the phrase Tiger Form, World's Number 1, which made Lu Chenju momentarily think it was Hong Fu. Unexpectedly, Principal Wang was also a fan of the tiger form in his youth. Lu Chenju's eyes gleamed as he declared spiritedly, "I also want to give it a try." Lu Chenju reached out his fingers, also wanting to carve the characters. The next moment, his hand hung midair, buzzing and trembling, unable to advance further. An unseen force blocked him. All along, Lu Chenju believed his will was strong enough, but as he couldn't even touch the cliff, it seemed his willpower was still far behind those top-tier experts at this stage. Let it be, just keep striving. In an instant, Lu Chenju's consciousness left the inner scenery land. Carving at the foot of the mountain was uninteresting. He might as well go to the summit and carve. Chi Blood Measurement Room. Congratulations, your Chi Blood value is 24 points, just 1 point away from the End Realm standard. Lu Chenju stopped and stood firm. The Chi Blood value is close to the End Realm. After a martial artist opens up every 30 acupoints, it can trigger an acupoint resonance, thereby releasing a surge of Chi Blood. Reaching 60 acupoints, my Chi Blood surged by more than 2 points in an instant, comparable to lower-grade true skill martial arts. Thus, for a martial artist, the increase in Chi Blood first depends on the inner strength, then on the heavenly pile, and finally on the martial art, with more Chi Blood increment as more acupoints are unlocked. The accumulation of Chi Blood from acupoints is an enormously large number. Noon. King Shinkang's house. The mentorship had its weekly small gathering. Jai Feiyan kept fidgeting with her food, her eyes constantly on Lu Chenju. Lu Chenju smiled slightly and asked, "Sister, is there something?" Jai Feiyan said with some doubt, "I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I feel like, junior brother, your aura now is much stronger than my father's. Did you secretly step into the End Realm?" Hearing this, Shiruyu also picked up some dishes and looked over. Lately, the junior brother had grown rapidly, like bamboo shoots after rain, his aura increasingly unfathomable. Despite their efforts, she and Jai Feiyan couldn't keep up with him. Lu Chenju smiled and said, "Not at all." Jai Chuantong looked at Lu Chenju and asked, "What's your Chi Blood now?" Lu Chenju thought for a moment and said, "Just a bit more fire control, and I can reach the End Realm." Jai Chuantong, "How much exactly?" Lu Chenju hesitated. 1 point. Jai Chuantong, Fortunately, he had the assistance of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. His Chi Blood was still much higher than Lu Chenju's. King Shinkang said smilingly, "Not bad, you've opened 60 acupoints." Lu Chenju said, "Yes. How about the Tiger Demon Tai Sway technique? I've been at the 2nd layer first rank for a while now, probably hoping to reach the 3rd layer next year." King Shinkang nodded. "Although I use the eagle form, I've also heard much about the renowned Tiger Demon Tai Sway technique. It looks like if you can step into the 3rd layer, reaching the End Realm in Chi Blood would be quite easy. The End Realm's lower limit for Chi Blood is 25 points. The Stop Realm's lower limit is 43 points. The ultimate limit of the Chi Blood for the first shackles is 53 points. In the sunny march of Jiangnan, the scenery is delightful. Beside Stone Lake, swallows chirp continuously. Lu Chenju, using the lake surface as a stage, strides on the water. Light on his feet, he barely makes a sound walking on the water, which is obscured by the waves. Occasionally, he leaps up, flipping in the air, arms flapping like a seabird, and lands on the lake surface from 30 feet high without falling into the water, blurring the line between the lake and the ground. The most mystical sight is the flock of swallows that constantly follows him like a shadow, elegant as a black swallowtail coat, now soaring, now skimming the water. A little swallow chirps and flies low over the lake, landing at Lu Chenju's feet. Lu Chenju lightly steps on the swallow and astonishingly springs up a dozen feet high. With his current realm, he still cannot lift weights as effortlessly as a grandmaster and cautiously steps lightly, fearing to hurt the little swallow. However, more and more swallows continue to fly through beneath his feet. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Lu Chenju's steps get faster and lighter, as if he were walking on the mythical Love Bridge, flying low over the lake for 90 feet before finally coming down, standing on the lake's surface, his face rosy and his eyes sparkling brilliantly. Can this Swallow Master effect be used like this? Not only can it summon and communicate with flocks of swallows, but it can also leverage the swallows to step on them and move through the air as if riding the wind. At this moment, Lu Chenju feels ethereal. He feels as if he is an immortal riding a crane. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. More and more little swallows treat Lu Chenju like a utility pole, alighting on his shoulders, head, and arms, with some even burrowing into his clothing pockets. If it were like a game where the intimacy level was visible, Lu Chenju would now see the affection +1 notifications popping over the little swallows' heads. A slightly chubby little swallow lands on Lu Chenju's nose. Ha ha ha, you came back too. This little swallow is the very one that Lu Chenju had once released. Lu Chenju is in a great mood. He gently captures the little swallow and kisses it, with no ulterior motive, just as a fisherman can't help but kiss a 5-pound carp. The little swallow does not resist and lets Lu Chenju steal away its spirit, flying away dizzily. Lu Chenju leaves the lake surface and goes home to take a bath. He looks at the martial arts tree, the previously learned swallow return fist and sea-sweeping body, along with the 6 types of third-grade swallow form fist techniques he subsequently learned, are all integrated now. Please name your new martial arts. Continue with Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping. Name a true skill later. Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping Fist Perfection. Divine Seed Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping 3rd Rank Plus, stored in Shaechang Acupoint. Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping Unrestrained. Effect 1. Swallow Wisdom enhances comprehension of general fist techniques above some level. Effect 5. Swallow Master. Ordinary swallow species see you as their master. Extraordinary swallow species also have a certain degree of affection for you. When swallow species sense your presence nearby, they will actively fly to you to scout or assist in combat. Effect 6. Wind Control increases speed of movement techniques with the wind and decreases when against the wind, while also elevating movement technique altitude. Effect 7. Light as a swallow. An invisible light spirit wind constantly flows within your body, allowing you to reduce gravity without changing body density. 7 effects in total. That's the result of the recent integration. The first 4 effects need no explanation. They are enhancements of existing effects. The last 2 are newly born, specific to the minor swallow form sect, seemingly less impressive compared to tiger form. 6 schools of martial arts generated just 2 effects, giving it a general cost-effectiveness. But Lu Chenju achieved his purpose. His goal in integrating swallow form was precisely for effects 6 and 7, to make up for the shortcomings of tiger form body techniques, reduced leg strength. If he once again encounters a trial in the void realm and is chased by countless demons, he could use mountain winds to escape more effectively, conserving a lot of energy. In summary, swallow form is mainly for escaping. In old times, it would have been an essential skill for a lone thief who travels thousands of miles to steal brides. To Lu Chenju's surprise, the Swallow Master effect. This promotion, its effect was epic level strengthened. Extraordinary swallow species affection. Extraordinary creatures don't exist in the human world unless you count demon ghosts. The only ones that could be considered extraordinary creatures are precious birds and mutant beasts. Could this effect actually work on swallow-like precious birds? Lu Chenju murmurs to himself. If that's the case, this effect is awesome. Even ordinary swallows are useful. If Lu Chenju encounters danger in combat, he now has a group of biological drones for reconnaissance and warning. At critical moments, he can even use the maneuver Tiger Stamping on Flying Swallow for short-distance airborne movement. During this period of studying swallow form, Lu Chenju also realized a problem, that the 5 elements do indeed affect the pace of fist technique cultivation. Swallow form mainly involves water and wind elements. Wind boxing is smooth, whereas water is slightly lacking. Considering the cost of time, he plans to specialize in wind element swallow form fist. While cultivating tiger form, he aims to fully integrate a true skill-level swallow form fist technique. April in the human world. In the suburbs of Sioux City, at a certain Jiangnan-style mansion. Pavilions, towers, a lotus pond under the moonlight. At midnight, a shadow sharpens a knife. Slim and with broad hands, his appearance is utterly ordinary. Suddenly, he raises his head, speaking in a low voice. Who? In an instant, he draws his knife, his muscles swelling and emitting a stench as bloody true chi flows into the blade, transforming it into a demonic blood-colored knife. Hum! The 3-foot-long bloody knife aura tears through the night sky. The powerful force ruffles the world, the lake S, stopping midair, revealing a blurred figure in a black trench coat floating in the void, surrounded by an invisible divine radiance, capable of shredding a martial artist's power, ultimately becoming invisible. Chapter 361, 239 for Great Taoist Body, 4K for double monthly tickets. The man holding the knife slightly changed his expression and said, "Which sect are you from, and what do you want with me?" As a silver-ranked assassin of the blood-hidden tower, his lower-grade true skill, Blood Demon Mad Saber, had already reached perfection. Under the condition of burning chi blood, the might of this saber far surpassed most of the power of other lower-grade true skill martial arts, yet it couldn't break through the barrier of the man in black. He was a black knight, often mingling in the underworld. He immediately recognized that this man in black was a cult expert. The figure in the windbreaker spoke in an ethereal voice, indistinguishable in gender. Blood-hidden tower, silver-ranked assassin, blood vulture by Jingaming, mingling in the professional assassin circle for 10 years, with an assassination success rate of 70%. You've killed more than 2 handfuls of martial artists and cult incense masters. There's a big contract, will you take it? Seeing that the person before him knew his real name, Bai Jingaming smiled and said, "Who am I to kill? What's the reward?" The figure in the windbreaker said, "Lu Chenju from Sioux City Dragon Marshal. The reward is a lower-grade ancient artifact." Bai Jingaming frowned slightly. An ancient artifact? Are there no divine weapons? Although a fighter's item might barely suffice, it is definitely not as handy as a divine weapon. If there's a divine weapon, I'll do it. Lu Chenju is the chief of Dragon City. Though he has been promoted just a year ago, most likely he possesses the power of the Middle Realm. Moreover, this person is also a disciple of a near-heavenly king. Taking such a big risk for a lower-grade ancient artifact is not worth it. You can go back. I have no intention of coming out of retirement. He wasn't foolish. A prodigy like Lu Chenju, countless assassins targeting him, although he's a martial arts master, he's only at the initial realm, having stepped into it not long ago with shallow foundations. The silver rank was also a recent promotion. Before this, he was only bronze. And such prodigies, being disciples of near-heavenly kings, surely have trump cards. Truth be told, the success rate of assassination wouldn't be high. Once failed, even if he managed to escape, he would still likely face a joint manhunt by Sioux City Dragon Marshal and the police. The risk was tremendous, unless the reward was enough to tempt him to seek riches at the peril of his life. Otherwise, no deal. The figure in the windbreaker seemed to have anticipated Bai Jingaming's response and chuckled lightly. Besides the ancient artifact, there's also a drop of Demon King Essence blood. As far as I know, the demon skill, Heavenly Demon Blood Slaughter skill, that your blood-hidden tower cultivates, requires the blood of higher-level mutant beasts to break through its realms, right? Aren't you content with just being a martial arts master? Don't you want to climb to the next level? The value of a drop of Demon King Essence blood, I need not say more. Sure enough, Bai Jingaming's expression changed. Who exactly are you? This person knew too much, surely a high-ranking figure within the sect. The Heavenly Demon Blood Slaughter skill is derived from the second greatest Demon Path Divine skill, Heavenly Demon 6 Transformations. Next only to the Devouring Heaven Demon skill, a true skill-level demon inner strength. This skill primarily cultivates evil chi, and during cultivation, it requires concoctions made with demon beast blood. Compared to the great medicine used by the righteous path, which is crafted from mutant beast blood, the demon beast medicine contains an incurable dark and cold evil chi. Long-term consumption gradually erodes the mind and spirit. Once cultivating this skill, it means embarking on a path of no return without a high-level demon blood catalyst. There's no breakthrough realm. Whenever there's a martial arts or cultivation breakthrough, it will attract the heavenly demon of the void realm into one's spirit. If one's martial arts can't withstand it, they will be consumed by madness, transformed into a bloodthirsty half-demon. Each night, with the agitation of the demon blood within a half-demon, it tortures both body and mind, and features of the demon beasts behind the great medicine begin to appear on their body. In ancient times, some humanoid demon spirits occasionally spotted in the human world were actually heavenly demon blood slaughter skill practitioners transformed. Giant eastern mutant beasts like the red-haired monster, big snow monster, snowfield demon, Shenang wildman, cat-faced old woman, river man-child. Western urban legends like werewolves, blood clan, ghouls, banshee, wendigo, mothman. Many are the products of martial artists and fighters who lost control while practicing similar demon skills, indistinguishable from demons. Practicing demon skills comes at a great cost. No one can escape it. But the heavenly demon blood slaughter skill is immensely powerful, best at burst attacks. Thus, the blood-hidden tower uses it to cultivate death soldiers and assassins. These drawbacks, Bai Jingaming was well aware of. But he had no other choice. So he agreed without hesitation. Deal, but I want a down payment. The figure in the windcoat pulled something from his pocket, snapped his fingers, and a small black bottle gently floated, slowly landing in Bai Jingaming's hands. An ethereal voice came through. Authentic Demon King Essence blood, however, there's a trap I left inside. If you try to get something for nothing, no matter where you run, I'll find you. After speaking, the figure in the windcoat drifted away. Bai Jingaming opened the bottle, feeling the intense and overwhelming aura of blood evil qi. Lu Chenju, Silver Eagle Federation. In a lost castle, the Blood Duke swirled his glass of red wine, savoring the blood of a young maiden. He spread his palm open, and a beautiful woman's face with closed eyes slowly took shape. The Blood Duke asked, "Protector Gu, has that matter been arranged?" The woman was none other than Gu Kaiqian. Her seductive voice came through. "I've handed the matter to Chen Yangjing. He employed a silver-ranked assassin from the Blood-Clothes Tower. Lu Chenju has just entered the martial artist realm. His strength at most reaches the middle realm of martial arts, at most the end realm. Even though he cultivates both internally and externally, he cannot withstand the might of a martial arts master. However, most of the time Lu Chenju stays in school. Assassination requires some time for observation, planning carefully, waiting for him to go out, finding the right opportunity. Heavenly Dog, sir, please be patient and wait for good news from us." The Blood Duke slightly furrowed his brow and said, "Make it quick. I need to restore my Demon King's strength soon. Temporarily unable to go to Dazia, I worry that if such a prodigy advances too quickly, it will become difficult to assassinate him later." Chapter 362, 239 for Great Taoist Body, 4K for double monthly tickets, /2. Gu Kaiqian said, "Leopard woman, you're worrying too much. Even if Lu Chenju is fast, it is not possible for him to achieve the break-second shackles within 3 years. He will have to leave the school at some point, right? There will be opportunities." The Blood Duke chuckled and replied, "That would be good. If this can be accomplished, I will speak in your favor before our Lord. As long as you devote yourself to spreading the glory of our Lord, becoming a goddess is within reach." Gu Kaiqian's figure dissipated. The Blood Duke's gaze turned deep as he looked towards the east. The Heavenly Tiger clan is the sworn enemy predestined by the Heavenly Dog. Lu Chenju must die. April 4th. At Lakeside Villa, number 32 on Stone Lake. Inside the practice room, Lu Chenju had just finished the grueling heavenly pile cultivation. He looked at his right foot and vaguely heard the babbling sound of flowing water, clear and refreshing. The 63rd acupoint is open. The Yongquan acupoint, one of the most important acupoints in the foot once opened, could nourish innate strength, could broaden the qi, and also activate qi blood circulation, extending one's lifespan. In a thought, Lu Chenju arrived at the inner scenery land. Babbling. Yet in front of the divine palace in the clearing, a spring had emerged at an unknown time, sending out a stream of fragrant, endless water, which gathered into a pool. The tiger Tai Sui was drinking from the pool, and after drinking, its figure grew slightly larger. It then continued to rub a giant blade against the stone slab, making a scraping sound. Once the Yongquan acupoint is opened, it will nurture a life spring in the inner scenery land. Life spring can nourish the flesh, heal the spirit, and also increase the healing ability and endurance of martial artists, significantly enhancing their sustained combat abilities. Lu Chenju recalled that his master's performance in battle within the Void Realm had been enduring, comparable to someone who cultivated iron crotch skill. It was because his master had given birth to a life spring that the body's vitality could continue unabated. With such capabilities, even if a small piece of flesh were cut from a martial artist's body, it could heal over time on its own without leaving a scar. Looking at the stars in the sky, Lu Chenju mused. Opening the acupoints in the feet indeed takes longer compared to those in the hands. My current rate of opening acupoints is only about 3 per month. I still need to enhance my divine seed. His rate of opening acupoints could not keep up with the growth of his chi blood. Of course, this was very common. It could be said that aside from those with special talents like innate 9 apertures, or the few who had consumed heavenly materials and earthly treasures for acupoint opening, everyone experienced slower acupoint opening compared to the increase in their chi blood. But Lu Chenju was not concerned. His rate of opening acupoints was quite fast. He now deeply understood why Principal Wang envied the Kangshan Dragon King. Born to solve the hardest problems, comparing one person to another could be infuriating. In contrast, Principal Wang, although gifted, was also troubled by the pile skill required for becoming a great grandmaster. His chi blood had long reached the limit of the 5th realm. All other conditions were also achieved with great success, and now it was all about refining pile skill. Qingtian Kang, Master Jai Li Gui. All the martial artists in the world struggled with the opening of acupoints. Leaving the inner realm, the TV in the practice room was broadcasting a match. This was the Transcendent Group's final video of the 100 Schools Martial Contest that Lu Chenju had turned on while practicing pile skill. The contestants were martial arts geniuses from Dezia Martial Arts University, with cultivations ranging from break 1st to break 3rd shackles. In the video, Wang Xian stood with his spear, the chi po displayed behind him transforming into a giant one-horned tiger about 3 feet in length, elongated in form. His opponent from Kunlun Martial Arts University was a 3rd shackles breaker genius who practiced the heavenly mountain Kayang hand. Every move he made was akin to the descent of the great sun, and as Wang Xian thrust with his spear, it was like a scion shooting the sun. After a fierce battle, Wang Xian narrowly won. Great, brother Wang has made it to the top 8, haha. Lu Chenju couldn't help but applaud. To be in the top 10 of the 100 Schools Martial Contest meant being incredibly formidable. After all, anyone below 35 years old who had broken the shackles could participate. Wang Xian was 35 this year, and next year he would no longer be eligible to compete, so he was training very hard at this time. Subsequently, Wang Xian stopped at the top 8, and Li Ao advanced to the semifinals. The champion of the contest was no surprise, a young Taoist from the Qian Academic, who with a single sword stroke had sent his end-realm master opponent's soul flying. The host said with a vacant look, Qian Academic's Qi Jingshan has reached Grandmaster. The audience was overwhelmingly shocked. A Grandmaster under 35. What's the point of competing then? Yeah, to have a Grandmaster participate in this edition of the 100 Schools Martial Contest. Lu Chenju also sighed. Those who step into the Grandmaster realm in their prime, if nothing unexpected happens, are sure to achieve the Heavenly King's pose and even have hope for the absolute peak. Impressive. He had only dared to set his current goal to become a Grandmaster before 40. Before 35, it was too difficult. It was said that Qi Jingshan possessed the perceived truth Tao body, a top-tier Taoist body not inferior to Zhang Lingmiao's dragon and tiger Taoist body or Hong Tianxiang's Xuanwu Tao body. Combined with the latter two and adding the perceived truth Tao body, these were collectively known as the 4 great Taoist bodies. Owners of these Taoist bodies in any era of Dezia were unparalleled geniuses. In this era, 3 of the great Taoist bodies had already appeared. Lu Chenju felt the blood in his veins starting to boil. Pity my realm is too weak. Otherwise, I would definitely participate in the 100 Schools Martial Arts competition. Brother Wang said that the prize for this competition's champion is a middle-grade defensive divine weapon. The golden cicada robe. This is the worst of times, with the void realm invading and demon ghosts rampant. This is the best of times, with geniuses as common as clouds and endless opportunities. Lu Chenju sat cross-legged, practicing the Tai Sui technique through breathing exercises. Get stronger. In the blink of an eye, it was the end of April. A few days ago, Chen Zioan also succeeded in breaking her shackles, advancing to martial artist. Thus, of the elite Class 8 veterans, there were 7 martial artists. Zio He from then on ceased to spam the group chat. He no longer dared to sneak a glance at Leopard Woman during classes. Old Tian organized a celebration for Chen Ziyuan. At the dinner table, after having a few drinks, Chen Ziyuan's cheeks flushed as she said, "Chenju, let's have a spar tomorrow." Lu Chenju smiled slightly. "All right." As the top student of the branch school, he had become the benchmark of the school, and every newly ascended martial artist's first act was to seek him out for a spar, to verify their own strength. It is said that this is how the young martial artists in Dragon City chat amongst themselves. "What strength are you at now?" "I already have 50% of lose power in you." "Me, lose power 30%. They say that Wang Hongdao already has 70%, terrifying indeed." The next day, martial arts arena. Invisible auras intertwined, as the formidable mystic tiger and a spirit-filled green snake wrestled with each other, while at the same time, two figures, one bare-handed, the other wielding a long whip that cracked through the air at supersonic speed, impossible to guard against. Lu Chenju was doing his best to dodge but still got hit by more than a dozen lashes. He did not employ his golden body crossover training. Instead, he met the blows with his muscular body. Suddenly, he burst through the dense shadows of the whip, his arms, tendons, and bones shaking, muscle waves rippling, and he unleashed a punch. Boom! A gust of wind hit them, blowing long ponytails. Chen Ziyuan stood in dazed silence. Lu Chenju's fist stopped just an inch from her face. In her mind, an intangible, domineering tiger loomed atop a mountain peak, surveying its territory like a king. Its tiger roars reverberated through the valleys. Moments later, she snapped out of the shock induced by the overpowering aura. Chen Ziyuan, looking at the streaks of blood on Lu Chenju, asked, "Are you all right? Why didn't you use your golden body?" Lu Chenju replied with a smile. "That wouldn't be interesting. If he had used his golden body, it would have been an overwhelming victory. He wanted to use the punishment to his body to smooth the way for his Ming King body training." Chen Ziyuan ran her fingers through her hair and asked, "Chenju, what do you call that punch?" Mountain echoes Valley's response. Lu Chenju turned and walked away, his aura returning to his body, restoring his calm disposition. Just now, his Tiger Roar Mountain River fist had reached perfection. Chen Ziyuan was left alone to muse over the thrilling experience. That punch seemed to contain a hint of an overbearing aura. Being from a prestigious family, she was well informed. Her sister married a martial arts genius from the Jiangnan Chu family. Magic City Martial Arts University's Chu Zhu. This person possesses the overlord body. It is said that, when he was in kindergarten, his intangible domineering aura could make punks on the streets recognize him as their boss, truly a campus tyrant. Chapter 363. 240 Martial Arts End Realm, 4K for double monthly tickets. Lu Chenju looked at the martial arts tree panel. Tiger Roar Mountain River Fist, perfection. The petals had withered, and the divine seed had been nurtured from them. Divine Seed Tiger Roar Mountain River, 3rd rank, stored in the Fish Border Acupoint. Effect 1. Tiger Wisdom Level 3, enhances some comprehension of general fist techniques. Effect 2. Tiger Form Level 3, enhances some comprehension of Tiger Form fist techniques. Effect 3. Tiger Glare by gazing with both eyes, initiates an aura that causes a certain spiritual deterrence to the enemy, making them restless and mentally disorganized. Effects 1 and 2 went without saying. The third effect was still related to aura, similar to the Arhat skill Vajra Glaring, both initiating a spiritual attack through the eyes, hard to defend against. Such special effects, once integrated, would be absorbed by the mystic tiger spirit. The spirit encompassed all aura abilities. However, the martial arts tree did not transmit any integration notification sounds. Upon realizing this, Lu Chenju looked towards the heavenly destiny mystic tiger divine seed. The martial arts tree rustled, and he understood. The boxing realm is not sufficient. The 4th rank heavenly destiny mystic tiger had already merged 12 1st rank divine seeds. The Tiger Roar Mountain River divine seed was equivalent to 4 1st rank. Now everything was ready. The number of divine seeds was sufficient. Only the fist theory was lacking. Lu Chenju remembered the plaque of Heavenly Master Zhang from Dragon and Tiger Mountain. Perhaps it's time to seek ancient victories. Dazia, a land of natural treasures full of outstanding people. Since ancient times, there have been countless famous historical sites. The 3 mountains and 5 mountains, famous mountains of Buddha Dao, so many to list. Lu Chenju could confirm several places with ancient items similar to the plaques of the Heavenly Master Mansion, although these ancient items might not all contain Dao Yun, but they were worth a try. Even if he found nothing, it would still broaden his views. Certainly, now that the situation was chaotic, and he was a martial arts genius, attracting attention, stepping out of the school would inevitably be dangerous. Thus the matter needed careful long-term planning. No rush, let's boost the Qi blood first. Qi blood, the foundation of strength, representing physical quality. Any techniques in front of absolute Qi blood seemed overly complicated. May 1st, Wang Xian returned from the imperial capital. He came to Principal Wang's residence and said in a low tone, "Master, I let you down." Principal Wang was practicing pile skill, responded indifferently. "Disappointed. The top 8 is quite good, I watched the match. Except for that Grandmaster, the rest had similar strengths. Don't lose heart. Just prepare for the Heavenly Road Cup in 2 months and try to achieve a good ranking." Wang Xian forced a smile. "All right, let's hope for the best performance from the junior brother in the future." In 2 months, Lu Chenju had mastered the White Tiger breaking army spear, making Wang Xian, who believed he had some talent in spear techniques, feel like he was back in his teenage years, dominated by fear from Liao. With the infinite potential demonstrated by his junior brother, surpassing Liao in the future was not impossible. Stand firm, hold your stance. Your lower body must be stable, feet heavy. Golden fists continuously struck Lu Chenju's chest, sounding like cannon blasts. The sheer force could bend steel. Lu Chenju clenched his teeth, arms forward, palms up, legs in a horse stance, the waist and spine straight like a mighty dragon. Pain and exhaustion stimulated him. Sweat continuously emerged, evaporated by his high body temperature into mist. Time passed. Fist marks and blood stains continuously appeared on his body. The first layer of the Ming King body was called Golden Bell Standing. Practice stability. No matter the stormy winds and tumultuous waves, his body remained as stable as Mount Tai, capable of calmly handling thousands of forces without retreating. Then he would be considered to have mastered it. After enduring thousands of punches, Lu Chenju's body seemed as if the governor and conception vessels were opened, suddenly emitting a rumbling sound of bones and muscles. Inside his body, 66 acupoints surged with golden torrents, turning into wisps of golden smoke emerging from his pores, vaguely forming a huge golden bell. As the bell descended from the sky and merged with him, his muscle density instantly surged, tightening his muscles, blood like lead and mercury infused. This instantly elevated his skin defense, as thick as armor. Lu Chenju felt himself 10 times heavier all of a sudden, as if he was carrying Mount Five Fingers on his back. His feet fiercely shattered the floor of Chenju's house. "Crag Trag." The lady downstairs was startled. "What are you two doing up there?" Chenju's voice came. "Nothing, we're practicing. Don't bring down the house." "Don't worry, madam, we'll go to the gym later." In the practice room, Lu Chenju was sweating profusely. He closed his eyes to reflect, suddenly laughed and said, "Golden Bell Standing, I've done it, teacher, I've succeeded." Chenju looked at the ravines on the floor, exhaled turbid air and said, "Not bad, your Ming King body is proficient now. You should feel a giant invisible bell entering your body. This is the Golden Bell. The moment it is activated, it boosts lots of defense power, letting your lower body root deeply into the ground like a thousand jack. Combined with the golden body, I reckon even the attacks from martial arts end realm couldn't shake you at all." Of course, cultivating the Ming King body doesn't mean you give up dodging. You should still dodge when necessary. Golden Bell is to stabilize your figure upon colliding with an enemy, to better exert your full body strength. Lu Chenju nodded in realization. Understood, if the lower body and form are unstable during a fight, the attack rhythm is completely in the opponent's hands, and you can only be in a passive defensive posture. Chenju nodded. "That's the principle, go back now." Lu Chenju said, "Thank you, teacher, heard you're planning a trip soon." Chenju sighed. "Now that I have the ability of a master, I need to think about my future too. Planning to go to the Void Realm and train alone for a while, martial arts cultivation isn't possible without opportunities.